All right, good day, gentlemen. I do appreciate you joining me here today. We got a little project going here. My wife and I bought a beach house this year. We've been spending about half our time there and about half our time here. One of my neighbors was kind enough to give me a blower, and I want to see if I can get this blower working so I can take it to the beach house. You know, the house is on 14-foot stilts or piers. Is probably a better way to describe it. It's a fascinating way to construct something, but nobody ever watches my home repair videos. But they always seem to watch when I repair engines and you know, in cars and small engines, so forth. I had an individual also give me a 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And what I want to do is turn that into a project car for the beach. The beach is about 6 houses away from our house, so it's really, really close, and we can take vehicles down there and we can do all manner of things that we want to do. So I've got that coming up. I want to give a little preview on that because people seem to watch when I work on cars. They also seem to watch when I work on small engines. So, yeah, nice, right? I have done a little bit of a pre-check here. I'm going to demo it for you here. I've got some ideas about which way I want to go. And let's see, did it leak out all the gas? Yes, it did. So we'll have to manage that here in just a minute. So let's do a startup and a run, and we'll display the symptoms that it's actually doing, and then get into it. All right, full choke. It has a bulb primer in here. It's very, very stiff. I ran this yesterday, and yeah, it's got some issues. Power is on. All right, let's give her a start. All right, so, you know, yeah, I got lucky and started up, but it has performance issues. Let's see if we can resolve it. I'm going to go about half choke. Yeah. If I turn the choke off, it has no power. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm going to tear this down so I can start to get to the carburetor here. I do know it has a leak. It leaked gasoline like halfway empty, not all the way. I don't know what to deal with that. Probably got a hose that's getting hot and cold, and it's sealing up and then not sealing. So I'll get into it. So before we get too far into it, we've got the L and the H. You know, so it's telling us here that for L we need to be one turn out on the adjustment screws, which are back here and here. And then on the H, it's going to be 3/4. Now, a lot of guys would go, you know, oh, that's L and H. As best I recall it, still, that's German for something. And I don't know if it directly equates to low and high. I just don't remember. I don't have a manual, and I'm not going to go look it up in the manuals for the saws that I have. So let's just like make sure before I take this apart that we've got one turnout and a 3/4 turnout. All right, let's see. So L needs to be one turn out. So if I turn it all the way in, I would say that's probably out a little too far. So here we go. Let's see what I want to use as a reference point. That's half. That's one whole. Okay, that felt like about 3/4, I would say. So my reference is half and then 3/4. All right, start her up. All right, it starts, but as soon as I try and give it any throttle, it dies. Let's see if I can do this on the bench. half choke it and see if I get my power back. Yeah. Well, it tries a little harder, but generally speaking, I'm just going to say that, you know, it actually idled because it's a little bit warmed up. It's a nice day out today, and you know, I can feel a little bit of heat, and they always love that. So we've got some kind of problem here. Either it's carburation, or maybe it could be fuel filter. I seriously doubt that the air filter needs to be serviced because it's an old machine. It's been sitting up, right? But it needs to take a look at it. But if it had a clogged air filter, it would be getting more gasoline, and that seems to be what it needs, right? So that would almost, in this case, work to your advantage. So I don't think it's air. Probably fuel filter. I know we've got a leaking line, and it's probably got a dirty carburetor is what I'm thinking. Might be able to dial it out with the adjustment screws. Maybe that's worthwhile, you know, before you get into it and tear it all apart. I might open up a few of those a little bit and see what happens, and I'll do that. Idling too fast now. I opened up the L screw, which I think is low. Now it's idling too fast. I get a better response, but it's not near what it should be. It's not snappy at all. It's real finicky. Okay, well, so much for carburetor adjustment. That didn't do it. Never taken a Stihl apart before. Chainsaws work, right? So it's just this water. Okay, well, we got a funky air filter. That's no great surprise, I will say. Well, that's interesting. I just noticed when I sprayed it down with a hose to try and get some of the funk that was all over this, this wasn't on all the way, and I didn't realize it, and now there's water in the carb. I don't think personally that it's affecting it at the moment. I think it has far bigger issues. So I got 2 bolts here that hold the whole carb assembly on, or that. You know, I would like to get this running, you know, just make it reliable for the beach house. You know, so I'm prepared to do a little bit more than just get it running and just call it a day, right? I mean, I don't want this thing like cracking and failing on me. Oh, well, I don't think we're gonna have to wait. I don't think we're gonna have to make too many decisions on that. The bulb just squirted a bunch of fuel out. So yeah, that makes sense. My goodness. Okay. Well, I want to find out what else is going on here. So, sidebar, I rated my toolbox here, and I'm in the process of building, you know, a set for the beach. You know, the darn thing, the problem is that I can never remember where anything is anymore. You know, did I take it with me, you know, down there? Is it up here? You know, what's the deal? And that's sort of been the way I've been living life here. Okay. Like right now, I look down into my my metric wrench set. There's 2 missing. I mean, where are they? Are they at the beach? I mean, I just don't know. Yeah. almost can't get a wrench or a socket in this thing. I can hear it whistling, so there's a leak. You know, that's no surprise here. We got linkage to the trigger that I'm gonna have to figure out how to jockey around, and you know, it's always got to hold your hand, your tongue right to get that thing out of there. Alright, well, the studs that hold it on are so long, there's no way that's coming off of there without undoing this linkage first. Which means, God, I'm going to have to take this cover off. Would have been nice if I didn't have to do that. Yeah, I don't have the clearance here to get this out without releasing pressure. Four screws holding in. One of them is different. The other three are the same. Different one goes on the top. Alright, well, that makes it easy. Well, so I'm sure that I would be able to buy a rebuild kit for this, but what I really want to know is what does a whole new carburetor cost? And I don't have the leak fully diagnosed. In fact, I don't have it diagnosed at all. My guess is it's somewhere up here. Hopefully this tank isn't leaking for some bizarre reason that I can't see because it's all behind plastic, right? So, yeah, you know, maybe even look at, and there's a vent in here too. Look at this weird vent. I think it's a vent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's just all covered with goop. Let me bring you in close. So every bit of it is wet. It's hard to see. And see that black thing right there? That's all wet and full of crap too. So that could be the leaking problem. Hard to say. It's just, you know, a big wet mess. So I don't know. I'll call the Stihl dealer and see what a carb costs for this thing. All right, gentlemen. Good morning. So I did the initial diagnosis and disassembly on a Friday night. The next morning I went out looking for parts online. Look what I found. Amazing deal, I think, anyway. So new air filter, new carburetor, fuel, 2 gaskets, plug, and then we've got a bunch of these extra bulb primers. This thing is the fuel pickup is the only thing that looks a little odd to me. So if I hold it up to the machine here, the lengths are weird, right? So I don't know if that's going to cause like maybe a kink or something. We'll just have to get into it and figure that out. But I'm really happy about it. So $15 for the whole thing. I mean, who can, you know, how do you beat that? I mean, I thought it was an amazing buy here. So I'm going to work with what I have here. I do not have the spark plug gap. I'll probably just look that up. If I can't find anything on that, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wing it and see what I can come up with. Maybe on what the old plug is gapped at currently, if it's not, you know, not too badly chewed up. So, all right, let's get into it. A little cleanup, and then we'll start getting into it. Just everything's kind of out of proportion compared to the old, so let's hope. It's not really, it's all molded together. It's not really something that you can alter, it doesn't look like to me anyway. There we go. Alright, the two gaskets are slightly different. Let's see if I can figure out why. This one goes toward the intake, and this one is on the outer part of it, is what I'm going to guess. They're just not quite exactly the same. Alright, there we go. So those holes line up like that. Alright, so the carb goes on that way. I still have to get this linkage handled and wrestle with the fuel lines. The big hole and the one on there. Yeah, that'll go on like that. Alright, that's good. Alright, so let's get a little lube going here. You end up with this weird twist in it. I don't want to cut that, even though that looks... Boy, I wish that was not like that. Boy, that looks kink to me. Alright, I cut that hose. There was no way that was going to work. It's too long. It was immediately kinking after being installed after 5 minutes, so now I'm just going to slip that up over the carburetor nipple. Alright, much better. No kink. That worked. Alright, that's good. Alright, I need to clean this nasty thing, so let me go do that. I'll be right back. Alright. Good. Up. Alright, what do we got left? We got a spark plug. Okay, well that plug doesn't look like it's in all that bad a shape anyway. I'm just going to get the gap off of this and see where we're at. So I would expect this to be 25 to 30 thousandths, somewhere in that range. 25 on the money. Yeah, that's what we'll go with the new plug. And it would give me a certain amount of comfort knowing that this was already pre-gapped to 25. So let's see where we're at. Yeah, that's right at 25. 25 thousandths. So we're going with that. That's good. It's all clean in there. Looks good. All right, I am I'm thinking that we're going to have a pretty pretty good positive potential outcome here. Got a half a tank of gas. I think the rest that's needed here is to put the cover back on, and we do a carb adjustment, right, based on the what this cover says, and then we give it a shot, man. That's what I'm thinking we do. So here goes. All right, look at that. You know, another example, right? You know, the screwdriver like I live by, I think I left it at the beach. 8 screw, 3/4 in. Okay, it looks like it's way out for whatever reason. So let me screw it in first, then we'll count 3/4 out. All right, so that's half. It's 3/4. Back screw L is 1 turn out from closed. So let's go closed. All right, that's closed, 1 turn. Half, 1 turn. This machine isn't going to start itself. Better go out there and take a look at it. So let's see if the bulb primer even gets gasoline into the. So we got about half a tank here. Plenty. Let's see if we can suck some gas into this thing. Here it comes. All right. Cool. Give it a few extras. Got an empty carburetor here. All right, I say we start her up. That's encouraging. Loading up on gasoline, I think. We need a little more carb fooling around. Getting enough fuel, so I opened it up. That's ultimately what ended up being the gave it more power. go clean something. Fixed. Appreciate you watching. Give me a like and subscribe. Really helps me out on YouTube. And thanks for watching. So we got a new air filter, new carb. Looks like we need a little bit of a. Whoops. Let's back up a second. So 15.